Well, this is a different kind of year for us in that we had 8 seniors graduate a year ago. And we have never had 8 seniors in the 17 years that we've been here. So a credit to some of those guys for sticking it out, for walking on and being a part of it, and being a positive influence in the locker room. And along with that, of the 8 seniors, 2 of those guys were all-conference players we lost. From a year ago, starting center, Eddie Deemer, who had a great career here for us. I wish we could have kept him healthy during his span here. And then Thomas Perkins, who was a combo guard for us, played point guard a year ago, was an honorable mention all-conference nominee or player from a year ago. So Taylor Jacobsmeyer was in the starting lineup, one of our football players. So we lost a 3rd starter there. And then we had a Division II transfer in Chris Thomas, who started at the 4 spot for us. So in uncharted waters, per se, a little bit at this point in time. I think our inexperience is a little bit of a concern, but yet it's also exciting for us to see how our new guys are advancing. We've had 2 scrimmages up until now, one against Gustavus Adolphus, who has a lot returning, and the other against Wisconsin Platteville, who in some of the polls is a top 20 program. And we saw big progress from the Thursday against Gustavus to the Monday against Wisconsin Platteville, with both halves being a 1-possession game. With that said, we go on the road this Saturday to Chicago, and looking forward to getting the season started. I know from a team standpoint, we're looking to contend for a title this year, just each and every year that we do open up the season. A lot of optimism at this point in time, and we have a lot of motivation coming off the end of last year, being that the last week of the season we won on the road at Co. We won on the road at Central, who won the regular season as well as the postseason conference tournament. That was an overtime win for us. And then we lost a very close battle in the conference tourney at BV. I believe it was 85-83. We had a last-ditch 3-point attempt go off the rim. And so building on the motivation, and building on last week's finish from a year ago, with a really good nucleus returning and a lot of new players to complement the players we have returning.
Based on the scrimmage on Thursday, it looks like you're kind of experimenting on point guard or at point guard. What are some of the options you're looking at there?
Well, we've experimented, at that point at a lot of positions. I would say at this point in time, there's probably 3 or 4 guys that are vying for that position, and one of them being Mark Ellis, combo guard out of Highland Community College a year ago. Mark's father, Matt, is in the Hall of Fame here at Wartburg, so it was a nice get for us with him having some experience coming in. We did recruit the junior college transfer ranks a little bit, simply because we knew we were going to lose so many seniors. Another guy that's combo guard, Nick Weber, will be playing there some. Malik Green is a sophomore returner, played primarily JV for us a year ago from Waterloo West. Sawyer Herman, an incoming freshman from Monticello, is doing very, very well at that position, growing into it. And then a guy that we can't forget, that was our backup point a year ago, Logan Pitts, who's with the football team right now, is a starting cornerback, and hopefully he's playing football through the middle of December.
What have you seen out of, Jordan Cannon had a good freshman year last year. What have you seen from him so far and that he's improved on?
He had a great finish to his freshman year, and we're fortunate to have him back. We were unsure if he would be back or not. He led us in the first scrimmage. I believe he had 6 threes and 22, 23 points against Gustavus. And just tracking back to a year ago, our tournament game against BV led us in scoring at BV, again with 22, 23 points. So just had a phenomenal finish to his freshman year. And I would anticipate that he's going to be one of our leading scorers, if not our leading scorer this year. Has the ability to score in transition. As I mentioned, shot the 3-ball very, very well here at home against Gustavus also.
With losing so many seniors last year, what have you seen as far as like team leadership? Who have been the next guys that have stepped up to lead the team?
I would say the two guys that stand out the most at this point in time are Clay Cook, senior from West Branch, played behind Eddie the last couple years, and Dan Van Groningen, who stepped into the starting lineup in the last week of the season. Those two guys are the most vocal and the most intense in practice, so they're going to get the attention of the other players.
Although you had 8 guys graduate, you still have 4 of the top 8 scorers back. How big is that?
Well, the experience factor is the concern for us. I don't know going into this year if we have, an Eddie Deemer returning that we can say he's going to get 15 or 18 tonight, or prior to that, a Jordan Sadoff. I do feel we are more balanced this year than what we've been in past years, and along with that, we've put in a motion offense. So it's not a set where we're going from A to B to C to D. They are having to make reads with the motion offense. So it's going to take a little bit longer for them to learn all the counters to how the defense is going to play. But as of yesterday, we were really excited walking away from practice saying that even all our newcomers were picking it up fairly rapidly, which is a real positive. The concern is the inexperience again.
With Clay shouldering some more of the load down low, how much does his tenacity and aggressiveness make up for maybe a little bit of lack of height?
His heart takes away, his heart is bigger than anybody else's on the floor. His intensity level is unbelievable. I hope we can keep him out of foul trouble is our concern, but I think the first scrimmage he had 5 offensive rebounds, second scrimmage he had 4, and he's going against bigger, more athletic players, but his effort is going to be a premium for us and infectious for us as well.
How many minutes are you expecting Clay to get a game? Does it vary? Or?
Yeah, we can't predetermine that at this point in time. I do know that we'll play 10 players in our rotation, maybe a few more early on, trying to figure things out. But Clay is going to be a big part of what we do, certainly. He had success not only rebounding but scoring. Defensively, he had numerous deflections, steals in the first couple scrimmages, so his effort is really major for us.
How do you see things shaking out in the conference standings?
Really hard to say. If we revert back to the last 2 years, we were picked to finish last 2 years ago, and we started out 5-0, shooting the ball very, very well, ended up in the championship game. Last year, Central was picked to finish last. They won the regular season title, won the postseason conference tournament, won a game against a MIAC school by double digits, and the NCAA tournament, then went to the #1 team in the nation and lost by 2 possessions. So I have no clue at this point in time. A big part of it is obviously going to be teams that are able to stay healthy and avoid the intangibles. BV probably has the most offensive weaponry returning. Loris has their top 1 through 3 returning. Dubuque has the best player in the league returning. Luther has a lot of scoring returning.